Every month, the Dallas-Fort Worth housing market leaves behind clues, from price shifts, inventory rises, and buyers disappearing like they saw something in the dark. And this month, that trail, well, it's louder than ever.
And if you've been watching our ADTV segments or our Brick by Brick podcast, you know we follow the clues. We connect the dots, and today the case file is thick. As we expose the DFW market mystery and dig into why buyers are pausing and sellers are sweating, go ahead and share this video with some friends, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what your thoughts are.
Yeah, and let us know if there's any mysteries you want us to solve. All right, guys, so let's jump right into the case of the November housing market for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex with exhibit number 1, which is average sales price. And what we see is that declined significantly. It's down 4.7% from last year. So we went from 467,000 to 445,000 year over year. What does that mean? Well, homeowners, you're gonna get less for your home this year than you would have last year.
Yep, and I think overall, that is helpful for buyers. It makes it so that things seem a little bit more affordable in terms of average sales price.
Yeah, absolutely. And it puts pressure on homeowners, right?
Yes.
You homeowners, this is going to put pressure on you guys to make sure that you put the house at the right price or are open to negotiating if you're really trying to sell.
Yeah, and especially those sellers who bought in the last couple of years, it is 100% affecting their equity and making it harder for them to make the money that they need or expect in this case.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's jump into exhibit number 2, which is closed sales. So in November, we saw an 18% decrease from November of 2024, meaning this year closed sales were at 6,996 compared to last year at 8,631. To me, this shows a lot of buyer hesitation.
100%. Lots of buyer hesitation. In fact, we're seeing buyers see a house 3-4 times before they put an offer in on it. And like from that first showing into the offer, sometimes it's a month goes by. Long time making decisions on buying. Yeah, the 100% hesitation is an issue.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that was a personal anecdote. We've seen that with some clients recently. Yeah. But overall, we are seeing people really take their time when it comes to making decisions, which has its pros and cons. I mean, it can be helpful if you're somebody who needs all the data to move forward and you need to, sleep on it. And it's something that it's a big decision. So taking time can be a good thing, but you also end up losing out sometimes. We've also seen that recently with clients where they wait a little bit too long to make a decision and then lose out on something that they really wanted, and it leaves for disappointment all the way around and can be a mood killer.
Yeah, so that'll be a mood killer. Exhibit 3, we're going to talk about days on market. So that is up 15%. So 69 this year was 60 last year. And what we're seeing with that is a change in the tempo, where sellers used to expect a home to go on the market, and some still do, quickly and then sell quickly. What we're seeing is a lot longer lifespan of the marketing cycle, to get a home sold. And sometimes you need to sell the home 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Do you think this is surprising to a lot of sellers?
Yeah, even though it's our job to educate them, kind of let them know what to expect. So I think if we do a good enough job of that, it's not going to be such a surprise. And the more this market lingers on, the less of a surprise. But I would say that some are still surprised by that, because if they sold a home in 2020, then they, or even 18, 19 was still faster than now.
Yeah. And I think with that, one of our first videos that we did, we talked about disc profiles. And so when you're somebody that's a high D, I think that is more likely the case where you're this is my experience before, this is how we did things, and this is how I expect it to happen now.
Right.
Versus somebody who is a type C, where they're kind of keeping a type C or a type S, somebody who's keeping watch on the market, and they're staying up to date with what's happening, and they're able to kind of look at it and not be surprised.
Yep.
Those tend to be the clients that are a little bit easier to work with, just because they are able to manage their own expectations when it comes to timing. But overall, like you said, it is our job to make sure that our clients are educated and their expectations are managed.
Absolutely. So, and what it's done too is emboldened buyers, You know,
Yes.
buyers are definitely more emboldened to go out there, make crazy, ridiculous offers on a home, do a lot of negotiating, and get a fantastic deal.
Oh, yeah. It is a great time if you're a buyer.
Absolutely.
This is one of those times where, again, another kind of brain rot thing, but like, I don't know if you ever see those videos where it's like what I should have been doing in 2008 instead of being 4.
Yeah.
It's like buying houses and investing and everything.
Yeah, that would be
like,
a good time.
This is our generation's 2008, like market crash, in my opinion. Not that the market is crashing. That's not what I'm saying. But if you can buy, if you can afford it, this is an amazing time to make that investment.
Okay, so exhibit number 4, we're going to talk about new listings. Leilani, what did we see last month for new listings?
Last month, we saw an 11% increase from November of 2024. So 2024, we were about 10,500. This November, we're about 11,700.
That's insane.
Insane
Yeah.
in the membrane.
And so why this is unexpected is because in this market, we're still seeing more homeowners continue to put their houses out there for sale, even though the homes are taking longer to sell.
Yeah.
So why do you think that is?
I think it's affordability overall. I think it is, insurance is high, taxes are high, groceries are high. Overall, I think that things are just expensive. And if sellers have the opportunity to sell versus having to stay somewhere that is costing them a lot of money, they're choosing to sell.
Yeah, taking their chances. Roll the dice.
Yep, rolling the dice.
Roll the dice, get it sold. I like it. And what's our next exhibit?
The next exhibit is price per square footage. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, down. It's down 4%. It was 188 last November. This November, we saw it at 180. And what that shows us is that leverage is definitely shifting.
100%.
Right? As all of these numbers go down, as inventory goes up, length of market goes up, prices come down, that's leverage for buyers. So there are areas where opportunity is hiding for you. Like if you're a home buyer right now, there's a lot of opportunity. If you're selling, there's opportunity if you're very strategic with what you do. Like the way you price the home, there's a lot of opportunity to compete or be more competitive with folks that don't have the equity position that you do if you have an equity position.
All right, so we've reached the breakdown.
The breakdown.
All right, Dad, who do you think the top suspects behind all of this are?
I would say the top suspect, the main reason is what you mentioned, affordability, right? And that affordability, under that umbrella, you have interest rates, you have housing prices, you have insurance prices, you have tax rates, like all of those things combined, in addition to the increasing cost of living and the stagnant earnings, like perfect storm. Right. So I think that's really the big thing is affordability.
Yeah, for sure. If you had to choose the main motive, would it still be affordability or would there be another answer to that?
I would definitely say, it's overall it's affordability. People aren't buying because of affordability.
Yeah.
In most cases, because of the affordability or lack thereof. And then a lot of people are selling for the same reason.
Yeah.
Like their home has gotten expensive, or, maybe if that's not the case, they're getting into the game where they're having to deal with other people's affordability, right? And make it more affordable. So I think, affordability is like the main issue we're seeing right now. And to support that statement, like we have sellers right now, like if you want to be strategic, like some sellers are selling out because they've got a bunch of equity. They're selling their home. They're taking that equity. They're paying off bills and they're making their monthly expenses much lower than what they were before. Then they're going and they're renting a home and they plan to rent for a year or two and then they're going to buy. So they're going to take that equity. They're going to buy when the market's low. And then as values increase, and they're going to see a lot of equity.
Absolutely.
A lot of equity grow there.
When we did our buying versus renting video a few months back, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's really good. We talk about being strategic with renting, how that is one of the ways that, in our opinion, it is justified.
Yeah.
Obviously, renting, if you have to do your thing, bro, and there are cases where it's good to do that. This is one of those cases where renting can be a very smart move.
Yeah, it's a tool, just like interest rates, mortgage programs, real estate. Look at it as a tool. These are all tools that you can use to further whatever goal you have in life.
Yep.
Okay, so overall, we are in a softer market. It doesn't have to be scary, right? Just be strategic with what you do, and you can see a win.
Absolutely. Is now secretly a good time to buy?
Not secretly. No, definitely is a good time to buy. So definitely not secretively, saying it loud and clear. It is absolutely a good time to buy right now.
100%.
Yep.
Are sellers panicking for no reason, or is it justified?
I would say some are. Some are. The money has a lot to do with it. Like everybody wants to make the most amount of money as possible. Of course you do. And you see this number that could be, but it's not. And although the equity you had never really was yours, you never really put that in the bank as part of the market. A lot of folks get tied to it.
Yep.
Right. So those folks for panicking, probably not so reasonable. But folks that bought their home in the last 3 to 4 years that are trying to sell and they have no equity, definitely valid reasons for panicking. And I won't say panicking because it's not ever good to panic in any situation.
No.
But definitely room for concern.
Yeah. So between affordability, average sales price being down, days on market being up, all the evidence that we've brought to the table, I think that it is, safe to say, like you said, we are in a buyer's market. There is some validity to sellers being a little bit nervous, but overall, when you have somebody that is able to support you, that is able to make sure that you guys, have a good understanding of what's going on, that is how you can beat this market.
Absolutely. Now, we've got some advice for you guys. Some of you buyers, some of you sellers. So for buyers, go ahead and Leilani's going to drop the buyer nuggets.
Okay.
Drop buyer nuggets.
So buyers, the leverage here is it's all in your court. The ball is in your court. You have the opportunity to get a really great deal, whether it is a pre-existing home, new construction, and making sure that you are, looking around when it comes to rates, that you're finding a really great agent that's going to be able to negotiate hard for you. The whole 9 yards, that is where your leverage is best utilized. There are mistakes that you can make though that can hurt you. We talked about waiting being something that is very prevalent in this market. While it can be good to, sleep on it and make good educated decisions, procrastinating on those decisions can hurt you in the long run if you lose out on a house that you love. So things like that. If you're curious about other mistakes that you can make during the home buying process, don't forget to check out our 6 costly mistakes that homeowners make when moving to DFW. That is a great video for more information on that topic. But overall, I think where the opportunity lies for you as a buyer is in new construction. That is where, in my opinion, you will get the most bang for your buck. Not only will you get, warranties on the home, you'll get, I think a lot of builders right now are throwing in like washer, dryer, refrigerator, blinds. They are making sure that you have a lot of your closing costs paid for, that you get a good monthly payment, that you get a good interest rate. They are trying to get their inventory out too. We're coming to the end of the year, so they are making sure that you get a really great freaking deal, and they're a lot easier to work with sometimes than regular sellers.
All right, and for the sellers, I've got some advice for you guys. So one, what matters the most in getting your home sold and not sitting on the market for a long time is the price. By far, that is the number one thing. Second, the presentation. Third, the cleanliness. Make sure it looks good, smells good, and it's priced right. Now, some things that separate homes that are selling from homes that are sitting are those things, right? Pricing for sure. And the cleanliness, the presentation, and the photos. Like if your agent took cell phone photos of your home, plan to be on the market for a while, don't let them do that. We had a home that just recently sold in a day. And I will say that this was just luck. Sometimes that happens, right?
Yeah.
These folks have been looking in this neighborhood for a house for a long time, and they just were waiting for a house in this market that fit their needs to pop up. The day it did, they went and bought it. So one day on the market, it was priced high. It really was. It was priced about 10 grand higher than where it should have been, but they went and bought it the first day. So that can still happen. Luck does still play a part.
Yeah, I 100% agree. All right. Well, that wraps up today's episode of the DFW Market Mystery of November 2025. Don't forget to check out the videos that we mentioned in this video. They will be linked. And We want to thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe, share this video with 2, 3, 4 different friends, and comment down below what your thoughts are.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.